Soro Shri Guru Maharaj ki Jai Ho, Jai Sitaram, dear devotees, Swagatam. Welcome back to Sooryoday, your Thursday morning simulcast on radio and TV Jaagriti with your Shri Shiva Janak Maharaj. Another beautiful day it is here in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, as we have a little Sahara dust, but we are surviving. As with this morning, dear devotees, we are going to discuss happiness. How can we truly be happy? And we live in a world where there's so much negativities, there's so much hatred, there's so much bad, and we see it every day. We see it in the news, we see it in the paper, we see it all around us. And recently we have seen it being taken to a totally different level of negativity in the mass religious killings that we see going on around the world. And their devotees, we have to put a stop to it. And how can you, the devotees, put a stop to it? What we can do and what we should do is try to make the world a more positive place and negate the negativities around us. And if each and every one of us make that simple change within ourselves, one of the scriptures describe to us that true happiness is when the man, krama, vachan, they all work in synchronize. When your mind, your body, and your actions, your devotees, everything, your mind, your words, and your deeds, your thought, your words, and your deeds work in synchronized with that positive energy of the universe. And how can we achieve this? As we said, we live in a world where recently we saw all these mass killings, mass hatred, religious killings, and we have to put a stop to it. So yesterday was International Day of Happiness. It was the UN has declared the 20th of March as the International Day of Happiness. And it says here the theme for this year is happier together. Not apart, but happier together. Focusing on what we have in common rather than what divides us. What brings us together and not what divides us. In our national anthem, together we aspire, together we achieve. Together we'll be happier if we work together, dear devotees, each and every one. We have to work together. We have to bring that positivity together. And then the negativities will not be allowed to come in. Think of a coquille broom. If you take one strand of a coquille broom and you try to break it, it will break very easily. However, if you take the entire bunch of the broom and you try to break it, it will be very difficult. So this is where when you come together, united, we stand, and divided we fall. And with devotees, let us be happier together, focusing on what we have in common rather than what divides us. The theme for yesterday's Happier International Day, dear devotees, International Day of Happiness. And yesterday, being in the Hindu calendar, Purnima Tithi in the month of Palgun, also we celebrated that Holika, Dahan. Last night many of our venues of the SDMS would have had that Holika, Dahan, the burning of Holika. And Holika represented the negativities. Holika represented the bad. And Prahaladji, Bhakta Prahalad, he represented good. And we all know that good always triumphs over evil. You see, nobody says that life is going to be an easy bed of roses. However, true happiness is knowing that even if we find ourselves in a particular situation, that we one day will smile again. We will get out of it very soon. And yes, devotees. And so in that, true happiness doesn't mean we're going to be happy all the time. We're going to have situations in our lives that we will have to face, that we'll have to deal with. And so Prahaladji taught us that no matter how many ways his evil Pitaji, his father, tried to destroy him, he made the best of it, and he was always triumph. Good always triumphs over evil. Yes, devotees. And so Holika was destroyed on a night like last night. And also, Kama Devata was also destroyed on a night like last night. How was he destroyed, and by whom was he destroyed? Let us find out in this first clip. Those of you on TV Jaagriti, enjoy the katha as it unfolds before you. Umapati Mahadeva ki jai. Umapati Mahadeva ki jai ho. Jai Sitaram Devotee Swagatam. Welcome back to Sooryoday, a Thursday morning simulcast on radio and TV Jaagriti. And this morning we are discussing true happiness and how can we negate the negativities in our lives and around us and in the world and have a happier world, devotees. So yesterday we mentioned was International Day of Happiness. And we also mentioned that Holika was destroyed on that day, and we saw in that video that also Kama Devata were destroyed on the Purnima Tithi of the month of Palgun, and Palgun Maas, their devotees, and he was destroyed by Bhagwan Shiv. Now Kama Devata, Kama is desire, Kama is lust and love, which is representative of Kama Devata. And he is the god of that. And their devotees, in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, there are some beautiful verses which describes 3 types of happiness. And we'll start from the least wanted type of happiness that we should want, there it goes. And it says here that in chapter 18, Shlok 38, that, that happiness which covers the nature of the self from beginning to end, and which is desired from sleep and neglect and so forth, that is in the mode of, it's tamasic, in the mode of ignorance. And so those type of happiness, some of us like to just sleep all day, and that's very tamasic, their devotees. We are happy by just doing nothing. We are happy by neglecting our duties. We are happy by not doing something. That type of happiness is called tamasic happiness. And so Kama Devata, however, in chapter 18 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in Shlok 37, it describes the type of happiness that you get from Kama Devata. And Kama Devata, it says here, this is the materialistic pleasure that is derived when the senses come into contact with the external objects that create a feeling of gratification. However, this kind of happiness is temporary, and this is called the Rajasic type of happiness, their devotees. It's the middle type, and many of us fall within that. Some of us fall into the tamasic, those who like to sleep plenty as well. However, the one type of happiness that we should all strive for is described. Go get your Srimad Bhagavad Gita, dear devotees, pull it up on your apps, on your phones, and look at chapter 18, Shlok 36. And that will describe to you, dear devotees, the purest type of happiness. And what is that purest type of happiness? It says here that this type of happiness is the happiness that arises from the elevation of the Atma, the elevation of the soul. However, attaining this is not easy. One pursuing Sadvik, this is Sadvik or the pure type of happiness, has to practice a lot of discipline. That is why it feels like a poison in the beginning, but a nectar in the end. Yes, devotees, to achieve Satvik, the purest of happiness, you have to sacrifice. What you work hard for something, you appreciate it more. And so if you work hard for that true happiness, then you will really appreciate it. Those of you who ever saw the movie In the Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, please, a very good movie for parents and children to look at, to see the kind of sacrifices you really have to make if you want to achieve true happiness. And true happiness is not only materialistic, dear devotees. As it says here, it is the one that tries to elevate the Atman, that brings you Satchit Anand, an everlasting feeling of happiness. So it says here that it feels like a poison when you try to get discipline and you try to do your yoga and your asana yoga and so forth, pranayam. You may not get it, you might skip a few days. However, if you are very disciplined in it, you will see the results automatically, dear devotees. And so these are the three types of happiness as outlined in chapter 18 from shlokas 36, 37 and 38 of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are discussing happiness. How can we achieve happiness? And so yesterday being that International Day of Happiness and being the destruction of Kama Devata, with that lust and those things that bring you temporary happiness, which is rajastic in nature, and we are wanting to elevate ourselves to the true happiness. We turn to now who celebrates after that destruction of Holika. There was the celebration of Holi. And their devotees, who celebrates Holi? Let us learn from this next selection who was one of the persons, the devotees, the Lord himself, Bhagwan Sri Ram, their devotees, celebrated Bhagwan. He celebrated Holi. Let us listen in this beautiful selection where Sri Ram himself, he enjoys the Holi celebrations. Oh, Mahapati Mahadev ki jai. Yavar Ramachandra ki jai, Umapati Mahadev ki jai ho. And so, dear devotees, that beautiful selection we would have heard and we would have seen on TV Jaagriti as well. Bhagwan Sri Ram enjoying that occasion of Holi Bhagwan, dear devotees. And Holi is a very happy. What makes Holi a very happy celebration? It's a very happy celebration, a very joyous celebration. And one of the major things that makes it such a celebration is the fact that, there's no stratification. As we remember in yesterday being the International Day of Happiness, and we're saying the theme for 2019 is happier together, focusing on what we have in common rather than what divides us. And so when we play Holi, when we play Bhagwa, and all the different colors are smeared on everyone, the abir is soaking on everyone, we all are one color, dear devotees. There is no stratification of rich and poor, there is no stratification of young and old, there is no stratification of anything that we have in society that will seek to divide us. So in this way, Holi and Bhagwa, which is celebrated from this morning and onwards, this weekend, on school tomorrow, El Dorado North Hindu, we have our Bhagwa celebration for our students, and many other schools of the Sanatana Dharma Mahasabha will also be celebrating their Bhagwa celebration. And weekend, you have their venues where you'll be celebrating your Bhagwa celebration. And go there and you will see that it's a celebration of unity, which is what we are speaking about. This is what unity is, what brings us together. Together we aspire, together we achieve, together we are happier, according to our theme for 2019, International Day of Happiness, Wednesday, the 20th of March. Yesterday, devotees, and we continue the message as we tie it into our celebrations of Holi, dear devotees. And in this celebration of unity and color is very, very much used, and Bhagwan Shri Krishna also played Bhagwa. You see that? Bhagwan Shri Ram we saw played Bhagwa, and also Bhagwan Shri Krishna in Vrindavan, their devotees. And how did they play? How did they play? How did they smear the colors? Much the same way that you are going to do from today onwards for this year 2019. And so let us see in this selection how they performed and played their Bhagwan, their devotees. Prem Saboro Shri Krishna Bhagwan ki jai ho. Prem Saboro Shri Krishna Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Radha Mata ki jai ho. Jai Sitaram, dear devotees, Swagatam, welcome back to Sooryoday with your Shri Pandit Shiva Janak Maharaj. In that beautiful selection, year after year for the past few years, even though I may change the other songs, I always keep that song constant for my Bhagwan presentation of Sooryoday, their devotees. You see in that one, you see the beautiful colors of Bhagwan Shri Krishna and Radha Devi, and while they are playing here on earth, you see as they smear each other, also in the heavenly regions, Bhagwan Shri Vishnu and Shri Lakshmi Mata, they get the colors because they are incarnations of those forms of divinity, their devotees. Bhagwan Shri Vishnu and Shri Lakshmi Mata, the form of Radha Devi and Shri Krishna Ji, and their devotees, the colors. Colors can also teach us how we can live a happy life, their devotees. You see, it's very important, as Sadhguru has indicated in one of his speeches about color, and the importance of color. How can a color teach us how to, live a happier life? Color is what it radiates. A color is what it gives, and a color is not what it takes. What does that mean? To understand that, you really have to get into the science of colors. You see, for instance, if you see the color red, it means that all other colors are absorbed and only the red is given. If you see the color green, it means that all the other 7 colors of the spectrum of white light is absorbed and only the green is reflected. Therefore, you say that object is green because it gives only green. You say that object is red because it gives that color of only red, and it keeps all the rest. Therefore, dear devotees, true happiness is what you give and not what you get. We must not look for any rewards of anything to make ourselves happy. To make ourselves happy, we must be giving. To make ourselves happy, we must be radiating love. We must be radiating happiness. We must be radiating joyfulness. And by radiating that, when people see you, that's what they will see. They will see love, they will see joy, they will see happiness. And guess what? It's contagious. A smile is contagious. And so those who smile, you're also contagious. And you can spread your happiness one person at a time, like a light in diya. When the diyas, you use one light in diya, you can light many hundreds of diyas, and that light in diya could then light another diya. And that's the Hindu principle of spreading happiness, dear devotees. Let us get rid of the negativities in the world. Those of you who want to join me, I'm one of the ambassadors for happiness. You can follow me on Facebook, Sooryoday. You look for Sooryoday on Facebook, you look for Sooryoday on YouTube. You get all our programming here from Sooryoday is on YouTube. You can, if you miss it, you want to share the message with someone. And we are also on Facebook. On Facebook, every single day, started it last month, and every single day I give you a challenge to make yourself happier. Something that you can do that will make you feel better, that will make those around you feel better, and so we can spread the happiness. So devotees, join me on that quest of making happiness. You can take the post from on Facebook and you can share it with your friends, share the challenges and really try it. And I've been getting very good feedback of those who have been trying it, and they are feeling much better in their situations and they are living happier lives. So let's spread the happiness. Yesterday being International Day of Happiness, happier together, focusing on what brings us together rather than what separates us, dear devotees. So as we leave you today, we pray Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om.